In this video we're going to take a look at rear bosses and why I usually make two. Rear bosses glue your mix like no other technique, but they also enhance the 3D effect. I found that the best is to create two rear bosses. They are simply parallel compressors, and I create one for the bass and drums and another for the harmony. First we select the auxiliaries that group the drums and the bass, and we create a new send. This is going to be called rear BD for drums and bass. Now we are going to make sure that these sends are pre-faded so we can solo the rear boss and hear in isolation. The next step is to use copy to send to make sure that the sends have the same volume as the group tracks. Now we can solo the rear boss track and hear in isolation. If it doesn't sound, then you have to make sure that all the tracks in the multi-track are set to solo safe. Now we look and play the loudest part of the song. Then we insert the compressor and make sure it has fast attack, slow release or medium release, and then add some knee so it smooths out the effect. Now we start lowering down the threshold until we get around 6 dB of gain reduction. Volume to unity. Our next step is to create another boss, another rear boss, in this case with the harmony instruments. If you have vocals, then I create a third one with the vocals only, but in this case it's an instrumental, so we are going to create one more and name it rear harmony. Like we did before, we're going to make all sends pre-fader and use copy to send to make sure the sends have the same level as the group tracks. Now in isolation we can insert the compressor and repeat the process. I like to have a ratio of 40:1. Our goal is the same, it's to get a high amount of compression without sounding bad. Now we just lower down the faders of the two rear bosses and start adding slowly until we get that 3D effect and a lot of glue. Even when the song goes to the softer parts, you're going to feel that 3D effect and gluing that's typical of parallel compression. So that's how you do the rear bosses.